Hello. Today I'm going to be talking about why I personally am excited for the Eagles pursuing LeSean McCoy, but I don't particularly think that it's a necessary. Now, a couple of people have said that we need that third option to put us over the top. Like, Miles Sanders and Boston Scott are great, but we need that third option. And I definitely agree that it would put us over the top. And I think that LeSean McCoy would be that guy. I mean, him or like Carlos Hyde for a year, or really like one of those established veterans who's been in the game for a while. I totally agree that that would definitely put us over the top. But I think I would be confident going into this season with just Miles Sanders and Boston Scott. And I'm going to explain why. I have some stats here from last year. I only counted last year because McCoy has been in the league for 10 years with 3 different teams. Scott has been in the league for 2, but I think it was on the practice squad in 2018. He has zeros across the board for stats for 2018 anyway. So it was essentially like he was a rookie, a glorified rookie anyway. And then Miles Sanders was a genuine rookie last year and had a really good season, but I wanted to count just the last season for the most recent and also an even playing field per se. McCoy was super, super good. I think he had a year where he had over 1,600 rushing yards. So he was really good for a while, but I feel like he has slowed down a little bit, and he's like 32 right now, so getting up there in age, especially for a running back. So I think that as a third option, definitely my guy, and I think that he kind of proved that in KC last year. He had 101 rushes, which kind of surprised me, and 465 yards, so almost 500 yards as a third option in KC. 4.6 yards per attempt in 13 games, 4 rushing touchdowns, 5 touchdowns in total because he had 1 receiving touchdown. Where is it? 35.8 yards per game, so not too many, but again, third option, so not bad at all, at least to me, if he was a third option for the Eagles. 24 first downs. Now this is why I think that he would be good, because I haven't watched enough film to really see. I only saw 1 game where he played last year, but he didn't get that many attempts, but in a quarter of his attempts were first downs. So what that tells me, just from the numbers, is that he was put in third and short situations or second and short situations where they just needed a couple yards and he would get the first down. And 4.6 yards per attempt, that also kind of lines up with that. I think that would be awesome, you know? Why risk the health? Now, this sounds really bad, but why risk the health of our returning second-year running back who had a little bit of injury problem last year? He played all 16 games, but he did, I think it was a sore hamstring, but he had a little bit of an injury issue. Boston Scott only played the last half of the season. We don't have enough time to see if he was really like injury prone or if he would be. Why risk the health of those two when you have LeSean McCoy, an absolute bruiser who can... He got the first down on a quarter of his attempts. So, I mean, I think that that's definitely where he would serve, and I would love that. Miles Sanders was he was obviously the first, not first guy, he was the main guy for rushing. Towards the end of the season, he had to do a lot of receiving as well because no receivers. But 818 rushing yards, 509 receiving yards for 1,327 yards in total. Pretty good rookie season, if you ask me, for a running back anyway. 10.2 yards per reception. So he was getting a first down every time he caught the ball. Now, again, I think that that's a little bit inflated because a lot of those catches were at the end of the season against pretty mediocre or bad defenses like the Redskins and Giants, and I don't think that it really was. I think it was more he caught a bunch of long balls and a bunch of short ones, and that was really, it evened out to 10.2, but still, I'm fine with a bunch of long balls if he also catches a couple short ones. He had 63 targets for 50 receptions, Miles Sanders, so that's, I think that's an 80-ish% catch rate. It's pretty good. We're at three receiving touchdowns. Again, I think those were all at the end of the season. A total of 229 touches. So he got 179 rushes and 63 targets. So that's a lot of times that he had the opportunity to run the ball, and he did what he made it work. He got 1,300 yards over. So I don't know. I'm confident with him as the main guy. Boston Scott really showed up in the last half of the season. Did way more than he was asked to, and 61 rushes. Keep in mind, pretty much all of this is at the end of the season, but 61 rushes over 11 games, 245 yards. So not many rushing yards, but pretty. I don't know. Like I said, last half of the season, 4.0 yards per attempt. So not great, but I think that is dragged down by the first few games that he played. 5 rushing touchdowns, so the same as Miles Sanders. No receiving touchdowns, but 8.5 yards per reception and a nearly 100% catch rate. He had 26 targets for 24 catches. I think that's 93%? That's really good. 26 is not that much. That's an average of a little over 2 per game. But still, he practically did not drop the ball. 17 first downs, so he's not the first down guy. Miles Sanders was kind of the only running back we had for the first half of the season, so I think that's why he monopolized the first downs last year, but he won't have to this year. This year, if we get LeSean McCoy, he got 24 last year. He can just take the rock and go the 1 or 2 yards. Boston Scott, 17 is not much, but that's over 1.5 per game, I think, so I'm not going to complain at that. What am I missing? 204 receiving yards, so not bad at all in that category when you consider that, again, half the season. I don't know. I'm really happy with what we've got right now. Miles Sanders and Boston Scott are very, very talented players, and you can expect a slump in the second year, but with LeSean McCoy taking some of the load off their back, yeah, I'd be stoked for that, without LeSean McCoy, I definitely think that they could get the job done. So if a deal is not worked out, I'm not particularly worried, but I would love to see it happen. So that's just my opinion on the matter. There's a reason why my YouTube banner says "Complete Idiot Explain Sports," because, like I said, I haven't watched enough film on LeSean McCoy last year to really tell if what I'm saying is accurate. The numbers show that he was that third and short guy. But I might be wrong. I don't know. All I'm saying is, if we get him, I'll be ecstatic. If we don't get him, I'm still super excited. We've got wide receivers now. We've got D-line. We've got linebackers. We've got cornerbacks and safeties. We've got QBs. And we need a little bit of O-line help, in my opinion, but I'm fine with our running back situation. I'm not afraid of going into the season and playing like the Cowboys twice a year or the Giants or Redskins twice a year. Like, I'm not afraid of playing 6 out of 10 or 6 out of 16 games against those guys, and I'm not particularly afraid of playing against decent rush stopping defenses at this point. So I don't know. If we can't get LeSean McCoy, I'd love for us to get someone like Carlos Hyde. They've also been pursuing him. If we could get both of them, why not? I don't particularly see a long contract being signed for either of them, but I don't know. I would be super excited either way. So that's just my opinion. If you have another opinion, leave it down in the comments below. If you like the video, drop a like, because it really does help. And yeah, that's all for me. So see you later.